Okay, hey YouTube. This is Katie here again, and I wanted to make a video about my HSG, which stands for Hysterosalpingogram. And if you're on YouTube and you come across this video, you're probably looking up what an HSG is, or the story of someone else who had one, because don't know why you would be looking it up otherwise. Most people don't even know what it is. But anyways, if you are looking to find out some information about an HSG, if you're considering having one, I just had one done earlier today, and I have to say that my experience with it was not nearly as bad as I've heard some other women describe it as. When I was considering having it done, and I was, looking for the testimony of other women that have had them done, you'll find tons of horror stories about them on the different, parenting websites and maternal websites and YouTube, and for some women it's very, very painful. However, my experience with it was definitely uncomfortable. However, it was not, I've read some reviews that women were like, oh, it was more painful than childbirth. It was more painful than contractions. And I don't know how it could be more painful than that. I haven't had any children yet, but that seems pretty far-fetched to me. However, just to back up, so an HSG, or hysterosalpingogram, is a diagnostic x-ray of the uterus and the fallopian tubes. And what they do is they open up your cervix with a speculum, and then the doctor inserts I guess a little scope type thing, and they inject dye, which is, in my case, they used iodine, which is, I think, what the contrast that they use most of the time, although I have heard of some other physicians using another kind of contrast solution. I guess if you're allergic to iodine, they can use something else. So yeah, they open you up with a speculum, and they put a scope in, and they inject this contrast dye into your uterus, and it fills up your uterus, and then makes its way into the fallopian tubes. And if your tubes are clear, or patent, as the medical report would say, then you'll see the dye come out on the other end of the fallopian tube, and you'll just kind of see it spiraling downwards. In my case, thank God, I am so relieved and happy to report that my remaining fallopian tube, which is my right fallopian tube, is open and clear, and the dye went through and came out the other end just like it should have. And I'm just so relieved that there were no blockages, because again, I am missing my left fallopian tube. Was removed because I did have a tubal pregnancy, or ectopic pregnancy, that ruptured, and my tube was beyond repair, so they had to remove my left fallopian tube. So because I had the history of the ectopic pregnancy, and we have been, since I've recovered from that, we've been trying to conceive for the past 5 months, with no additional pregnancies since then. It's May 2013. This is our 6th month TTCing, and so we'll see. They say that having an HSG can possibly increase your fertility for the next 3 cycles after the HSG, because if there are minor blockages in your tubes, then the contrast dye will actually kind of push through them, and kind of clear out your tube of any like minor little blockages, I guess. However, if they do inject the contrast dye and it doesn't come out the other end, then they, will know that your tubes are blocked. And in that case, if there are blockages in your fallopian tubes, that's usually, I think, when the test is much more painful, because I think the pain that you experience is when that contrast dye presses on the blockages, and it can't, it can't move through the tube, and then I think that causes a lot of pain and cramping. And however, if I just tried to be as relaxed as possible, and I did some research about it like a while ago, and then like most recently I kind of stopped looking up to hear the stories of other women who've had them, just because it can be a little bit negative if you just keep hearing story after story after story about how badly it hurt and it's the most horrible thing ever, etc., etc. And so I just I didn't want to read all of that, right before getting it, and, the week before getting it, because I just didn't want it to make me nervous. Obviously, if you're having it done, I'm sure there's plenty of other things that you can be nervous and scared about, because it's not something, it's not a normal x-ray. I know that if you're just having like, infertility for some other reason, I know usually it's like the beginning of an infertility workup. If you're, have been trying to conceive for over a year and you're under 35, I think an HSG is usually one of the first things they do in an infertility workup. I guess they would do it after 6 months if you're over 35. However, in my case, I'm 30 years old, so I didn't hit the year mark yet, but because I did have the other ectopic, I just wanted to have it done for peace of mind, and just because I don't have a reason as to why I did have the tubal pregnancy. Most women who have tubal pregnancy don't have there are no answers, or they can't tell you the reason why you had it. It just happens sometimes. I didn't fit any of the I wasn't in any of the reasons that they know that could cause someone to have a tubal pregnancy is one, endometriosis. If you suffer from endometriosis, you are at a higher risk for tubal pregnancy. Two, if you've had any chlamydia infections, it can cause scarring in your tubes, and that could be a reason for a tubal pregnancy, and I didn't fit that category either. And then the third reason that they know about is if you've had an abortion, it can cause scarring and scar tissue and damage in your fallopian tubes and your uterus, and that could put you at higher risk. That puts you at higher risk for tubal pregnancies. But in my case, I didn't fit into any of those. Don't have any endometriosis, no history of any chlamydia or any other kind of STD, or I've never had an abortion before. The tubal pregnancy that I did have was my first pregnancy, and so they can't really give me a reason why it happened. They said, it just, they don't. The one thing that I've learned since TTCing and researching, pregnancy and how to get pregnant, and, hormones and how your body works and functions, and, what's normal, what's not normal, and all of that, I've really discovered that there really is so much information that the doctors just don't have concerning the issue of life. you would think that there would be more, women have been having babies since the beginning of time, and, there have been people studying it since the beginning of time. And you would think that they would have more information regarding it, but truth be told, I think that there's still so much unknown in the grand spectrum that is pregnancy and having babies. And to be honest with you, my personal opinion on that is because I believe that there's only one that gives life and takes life away. There's only one final authority on that, and that's God. And I don't think, definitely more research can be done, and I'm sure they'll discover more things, but ultimately the issue of life is very much a sovereign issue that man does not have control over, no matter how much research you've done. So anyways, back to the HSG. Like I said, my experience with the HSG was, it was uncomfortable, yeah, definitely. I did take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen about an hour before I had it done. But if you are considering having it done and you're hesitant about it because it's going to hurt or anything like that, I would say don't worry about it. Just go ahead and have it done if you want the peace of mind, because it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I would definitely do it again. If for some reason down the road I needed to, I wouldn't be scared of doing it again or anything like that. Hopefully I won't need to though. But so yeah, that's my experience with the HSG. My results came back good. My tube is patent, which means clear. There's no blockages. Everything is normal. It was pretty cool to see it on the screen. I can't believe two things about it. How long the fallopian tubes are, and two, how small they are. Literally, it was so skinny and small. It looked like a squiggly hair that was filling up with the fluid, or maybe like an angel hair pasta, no bigger than that. And I even asked the doctor, I was like, is it normal that it's supposed to be that small? I was, and he told me everything was 100% normal. So those are great words to hear. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it about the HSG. Hopefully I will be able to report a positive pregnancy test soon, maybe. But I'm definitely glad that I had it done. Definitely just thanking God for the peace of mind, and thanking God that my insurance covered the procedure. So there was no copay or anything like that for me. And everything went well. So no complaints at all, just good things to say. So if you are contemplating having it done and you want the peace of mind, if you did suffer a tubal pregnancy, or you're suffering infertility for other reasons, and you're contemplating having the HSG and don't know about it, I'm here to tell you that have it done. The way I see it is you'll always, whether the results are good or bad, it's one more step in the process. It's one more step toward you getting pregnant. It's one more piece of information that you can know and that you can use to help you. So that's about it. And baby dust to everyone, and hopefully I'll be getting pregnant soon. Bye-bye.